Light from Nowhere, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Pyrol. So I want to preface this that I don't believe in anything supernatural or otherworldly. I don't know why I have to do that, I just do. The story happened a few years ago and I'm still furious that it happened, because I never thought I'd be one of the people telling a story no one takes 100% seriously. I never thought I'd be the guy begging to be believed. But my whole family was there. So my family lives in a 100-year-old schoolhouse with a 20-foot tall sloped ceiling in the main room, like an A-frame. Think the ones with the bell on top. From that ceiling hang these lights. They are long chains that go to a socket in a special bulb, and then a casing around the bulb that almost looks like a bigger but opaque bulb thing. When we moved in, everything was fine. Every light was working. One day, one of the lights stops working. No problem, my dad says. He can find one of those weird bulbs tomorrow. They still make them. He still needs to go buy a bigger ladder so we can get up to it. We go to a store, get the huge bulb for the light and the ladder, get home that night, climb the ladder, take the screw-on light cover thing, and there's no bulb in the socket. We searched the house, the garbage, everywhere. Cannot find evidence of there ever being a bulb that goes with that light. That light had been on for months after we moved in, and there had never been a bulb in it. Song before release, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Advanced Excel. One day I was on my bike listening to the radio with my headphones, and a song came on called Light It Up by Major Lazer. And after the song ended, the radio went off. I thought it was a bad connection, so I didn't think anything of it. So after a couple of years, the song came back on, and to this day, it creeps me out. I saw two Beths, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by I Dream of Dinos. The other day I was daydreaming about something in class and looking out the window. Outside, I could see people walking on the sidewalk, but one in particular caught my eye. It was Beth, my classmate, rushing to get to the door of the building while trying not to spill her coffee. I turned around and there was Beth in the exact same outfit outside Beth was in, coffee on her desk, taking notes. I flipped my head back around and could see Beth clearly nearing the corner of the building where she could run up the steps. I lost sight of her and turned to look at inside Beth again. She was still sitting there quietly taking notes. Later, I asked if she had any family members who went there, trying to incite that perhaps she had a twin, but she told me her brothers were both still in high school. Focus in class after that was impossible. I kept waiting outside for Beth to walk through the door, but it never happened. Strange connection with a good friend, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by user 300316. I am new here and would like to share a strange experience with you. 2 years ago, I was with my family on vacation for 1 month at my grandparents' town, where I spent a lot of time during my childhood. I had the best friend there when we were children, and somehow we lost contact later. Nevertheless, during the vacation, we randomly met in my neighborhood, changed numbers, and agreed to meet one day. So during this month, I thought about it, but was too lazy to contact her. One day in the last week of the vacation, I decided to send her a message and meet in town. At the second I started writing, I got a message from her asking to meet. I was so shocked and couldn't believe what was happening. We had 1 month to contact each other, and at the same second, we wrote each other without knowing about it. I must add that when we were little, we always had a special connection. My mother says that I have always had a strange ability knowing what other people were thinking or going to do. Sometimes I start thinking about people I am never thinking of, and some hours later these people call my parents on the phone. I'm sorry for my bad English, as it's not my native language. I'll never forget the time my sweatshirt disappeared in seconds behind my back. Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Probably Kind of High. Just found this sub. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was a young kid playing in the woods. There were some woods behind my parents' lake house where I'd built a nice fort. Next to the fort was a small tree I'd cut down about halfway, so it was essentially a stick poking out of the ground. One day I got hot while working on the fort. I took my sweatshirt off and hung it on the small cut tree. I turned around about 20 seconds later to grab something else, and noticed my sweatshirt is gone. Nobody else was around. The nearest house was my parents' lake house about a half-mile away. I look all around while yelling gibberish, then sprinted home. I was terrified. My parents didn't take me seriously and said a dog probably grabbed it or something. No dogs were around, and nobody was around me, I think. Also, there was no wind or anything, no noises, nothing. This memory is extremely vivid because of the eerie sense of panic that overtook my body. I told myself that a bird of prey must have swooped down and gotten it seconds after I took it off, but the woods were so very dense, I don't know how plausible that is. Multiple earrings posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Leasers12. So this past winter I attended a wedding in BC. What happened was I went out to the dance that night, had a few drinks, went back to my hotel, got undressed, took off all my makeup and jewelry, including my earrings and necklace, and passed out on the bed. The next morning I went to put the earrings back in for the brunch and discovered that only one earring is in my makeup bag. I just figured I had lost one sometime between the dance and the bathroom, and in my drunken state I didn't notice. I was a bit pissed at myself because I just got them for Christmas and they were unique because they're handmade and sold at a little shop in my hometown and are fairly expensive to buy. Anyway, fast forward a month and I'm home in Saskatchewan and I open up my jewelry box and there's 2 earrings exactly like the ones I thought I lost in BC. I just assumed that I was lucky and didn't actually lose one. But no. I checked my makeup bag from the wedding and the single earring from BC is still in there, so I have 3 earrings. Literally, how did I gain 1 earring or 2? If they were generic earrings you buy at Claire's, it could be easily explained, but they aren't. Still don't have a clue. The math homework, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Black and Purple Skulls. This all happened in 4th and 5th grade around the early 2000s. I remember sitting on the floor of the shared bedroom. I was the only one in it because it was small and cluttered and cramped. I sat with my legs stretched out in front, side by side, leaning against my brother's bed. I had my backpack and things on my left, and my homework pile on the right. I finished a worksheet. I remember it was math and had some surfer dude on the front. I set it on my right. I grabbed some other paper from underneath, restacked the pile, and finished the rest of my homework. I went to look for the worksheet to put back in its folder, and it was gone. I looked under the bed. Nope. I go through the other pages of homework individually, ensuring nothing was stuck together. Nope. Did I already put it back in the folder or my backpack? I remember that I tore the entire room apart, even looked under the carpet and the blankets, and could never find it. I went to school the next day and apparently the other kids forgot their homework too. However, I didn't really forget it, it just vanished. But how do you explain it to your teacher? Even when the bedroom fully became mine and all the furniture got moved around and things cleaned, I never found the forsaken worksheet. This is the glitchiest thing that has ever happened to me, and I can't help but wonder if the paper actually switched dimensions on its own, or if it just did momentarily, but the paper is stuck under someone else's bed? Turkey in the Woods, posted in the Glitch the Matrix subreddit by Can You Not. Yesterday, my friend and I arranged to meet at the local nature preserve. It was the warmest day of the year, and we just wanted to hang outside. This nature preserve is in the outskirts of our town, a very quiet area next to a small vegetable farm. It's laid out like this: long dirt path from the road, no cars or horses allowed. You pass a few large fields with plants and stuff, and the farm is on your right while you walk. The path goes through a large woods area and wraps around a small beach. The town is at a bay. It's not dense woods, but it goes on for a long time, and there are small animals and foliage. It's nice. It's very quiet. So we were just walking through the woods. It's April, and it's like 70 degrees. Finally spring weather. My friend is talking, but I just cut him off short and point behind him. For some reason, there's something white sitting on the leaves, and it's pretty far away. I really wanted to check it out for some reason, so we go towards it. It's a roast turkey on a white styrofoam box or tray thing. My first thought was an animal trap. Very weird to use an entire roast turkey. But alright. But we checked for snares. None. I put my hand over the turkey. It's still warm. A few flies buzzing around, but that turkey is radiating heat like it was just pulled out of the oven. And it isn't rotten, it's new. But there's nobody around. We look in the trees and split up to search the area. Nobody, just a turkey, for no reason. Maybe they wanted to poison the squirrels, but why? In a nature preserve with nobody's property on or around it? And why make a whole turkey? And where did the cook or deliverer go? Creepy shared dream? Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Bianca Street. Okay, I had two big scary Glitch in the Matrix experiences in my whole life. This one happened a few months ago. It was about a month after I moved to university. I had a dream that I was in the university flat with my flatmates, and there was this man, I assumed he was a serial killer, with an axe who was in our block, and we could hear people screaming in the stairway, and everyone in my flat got into the kitchen. We barricaded the door with a big cupboard, and the guy breaks down the flat door with his axe. He breaks down the kitchen door with the axe, and when he starts to chop down the cupboard and to come into the kitchen, I go right behind the door, jump on the counter there, take the kettle with boiling water inside, and when he gets into the flat, I pour the boiling water on him. At that point, I wake up in the middle of the night. I am scared, but I realize it's just a dream, so I go back to sleep. I wake up in the morning and completely forget about my dream until, at one point, I was talking on the phone to my mom, and she tells me she hasn't been able to sleep well lately, and that she's been dreaming weird stuff. So I remember my dream at dinner. I tell my flatmates about my weird dream, and just as I start telling the story and say that a serial killer got into our block and was trying to get our flat, one of my roommates stops me, and she tells me she dreamt the same thing last night. So by this point I think it's a weird coincidence, and I'm like, really? And she goes, yeah. And we all hid in the kitchen and pushed the cupboard in from the front door. So now I'm majorly freaked out, and I tell her that happened in my dream too, and proceed to tell her that in my dream I hid on the counter behind the door and poured boiling water on the man when he came in. And she tells me that she dreamt that somebody hid there and did the exact same thing, and just as the man was screaming because of the boiling water, she woke up. Neither of us looked at the clock when we woke up, so we don't know if our dreams were completely synchronized. But the fact that we had the same scary dream in the same night is freaky enough for me. We still talk about it, and our flatmates are kind of incredulous and want to take it as a joke, but we seriously get the chills when we talk about it. Anybody have any explanation for this? I have had year-long lucid dreams. Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Nizarat. So around last year, after a traumatic event that happened to me, I was put on Prezocin to help with PTSD-induced nightmares, right? They worked, but they never really helped end the dreams. I still got those weird dreams about sex and fever trips, and I didn't really remember those, but I got the gist of those dreams. But a few weeks into taking my medications, my dreams became progressively longer, but I would wake normally, just very alert, like I never slept but had a crap ton of energy. And maybe it was the medication, but after now it felt like a day-long dream. I had a 2-week-long inner vacation. To describe it, there was a day-to-night cycle, but there was never a time where I slept in the dream, because when I would sleep in the dream, I would wake up. It was confusing because in my dreams I was conscious of everything as much as I am aware I'm writing this now. It wouldn't have been a problem for me if it wasn't for the fact that I had literally woken up, checked my alarm clock, and it's now 4 a.m. when I'd only began sleeping 2 hours prior. This cycle was sporadic until finally I had a year-long dream just 6 months ago in October. If you want, I can describe it in the comments, as it is a crazy dream, at least to me. If you have an explanation or suggestions on what I should do, I'm open. So, here's the dream described in a concise format. I wake up in the dream literally full of energy. It was as if I went from an average high school schemo to an athletically built track runner. In my dream there were no clocks, mirrors, or familiar people, just the same settings as the life you are living now, but replaced with different events and people. Another weird aspect is that as time passed it felt objective, like I could have chosen to move forward, but if I didn't want to, it would stop for a moment or so. Let me describe the most vivid and freakiest part of the dream. Now, here's me going to school, confused as heck. 2 African-American parents greeting me, "Good morning, son." I'm literally breezing through the day doing whatever. My parents are taking me to school and they pass every red light. It gets more odd as now I realize I'm sitting on the front left passenger seat of a Japan-made BMW. Literally everything is backwards. It was like nothing was correct in a sense. Nothing in my school is right either. The books were describing those weird ways of finding polygons that keep moving on my now lesser advanced iPad. At first, I thought it was a strange glitch, but every shape on the cheesy posters my teacher had on the walls were moving. It was so surreal. When lunch came, all my friends were there, but they were just different people with the same personalities, and they kept scanning me because I wasn't hungry. This was a summary of every day. I would try to vent to them occasionally, but whenever I spoke to them and told them I was dreaming, they just teased me and laughed like I was on drugs. This went on for a long time until mid-October. Finally, becoming tired, I literally just went to sleep and woke up just like how I felt before, wide awake. The only thing that scared me was how everything during that year never happened now, but felt so incredulously real, like my birthday, which is the day after Christmas. It really freaks me out to this day. I haven't told anyone except my brother about this one dream. The only fear I have is that I have a dream equivalent to a lifetime.